Well, hello there once again to you Rubers everywhere. High and low, in and out, various colors, I don't know. Uh, if you're a human being and you can hear the voice of sanity, if you enjoy listening to old guys ramble on, come on in, you're welcome. This is called the Short Talk in the Trailer Park. Trailer. See, I got the park word in there. Short Talk in the Trailer with an old guy. It's Monday after work, and I just wanted to talk up a video. Now, I don't always do this, I want to become the fanboy guy. But there's a lot of videos, really, that basically what they do is they review somebody else's video. And so I'm jumping on board with that one. Russell Brand, and I should have written down the title. Of course, I don't know that. But it's a recent, release, and maybe you can figure it out. And don't ask me know that HTTP thing at the bottom where I share it. I don't know how to do that. It exceeds my ability, cyber-wise. So anyhow, you just got to watch this thing. He's talking about, and this is getting back to as the world turns, your stomach, just all the batshit crazy bullshit going down internationally and nationally. In the U.S. now, they're talking about, we're going to revive the draft. They're talking about putting a 500,000 man army, a NATO army, on the Russian border in the Ukraine. Sounds like a real bad idea to me. I don't think NATO has a clue about what's going to happen if she goes there. The Russians are going to be a very, very tough enemy to face down. But never mind that. Meanwhile, the U.S. decided to bite off another chew of gumption magic, or something like that. In the South China Sea, Taiwan looks like it might blow up pretty quick. Does the U.S. really think that it can handle China and Russia together at once in two separate fronts, one in Taiwanese in the South China Sea and the other over there in the Ukraine? And then there's a third front, don't forget that one. Israel is armed. It's armed with over 300 atomic bombs, and they have the method of delivery. An atomic bomb war could also start in the Mideast. It depends on how sad and gloomy things get. But the point is, looking at this stuff, I just wanted to mention Russell Brand has got a serious case of production genius. He put in this idea of just the basic, frank insanity of those leaders in the West who want to pump this insane war up, which is crooked as hell to start with. The whole thing was corrupt to start with. And now they're saving face by, thinking about, well, nuclear war, not a real problem. You know what I mean? Hey, what's a few H-bombs going off here and there? We've done it before. No, you haven't. The world has no idea, apparently, or the world, when I say the world, maybe those worldlings, those enemies of the kingdom of heaven, who are built upon the principles of this world only, and therefore of him below it. Those guys might have some idea along those lines, but our idea is this. When we talk about recommending a video, go listen to this guy. He starts talking about Justin Timberlake pretty early, and he kind of starts bouncing between these two topics. I've never seen anything like it. It's brilliant. And so what he's doing is he's talking about, really, are you serious? You want to have an atomic bomb war? Are you insane? And then it shifts over to Justin Timberlake, and apparently Justin got pulled over for a DUI or whatever, DWI. And so he went to court, and I guess they found him guilty or something. Whatever, I don't care. But anyway, this is the news the MSM, the so-called mainstream media, wants you to focus on. This is the story that they're promoting. This is what they're putting out front. Justin Timberlake, is he going to do time? Justin Timberlake, can his girlfriend still date him? Justin Timberlake, will his concert in Poland next month work? Or are his fans going to leave him? This is what the news wants you to focus on, while certain perverted lunatics, not only here in the USA, but over there in Europe, are frankly talking about how much sense it makes and what a great idea it would be to start throwing nukes at Russia. You damn assholes. It's crazy, man. And it's like, what does the church have to say? You think the church might have a word to say? She says, what? She's got nothing to say. and if there's a pastor here or a pastor there that can comment and come out front line, let me tell you, that's the exception. Overall, the church is mum. The Protestant denominations of the West have failed miserably, failed beyond failure, to come forth early on and say, United States, you are wrong. You are wrong in pursuing this course of bombing and murdering Ukrainians in order to steal their resources. That's why this is going on. The church won't say that. So she's partially at blame in my mind. But the thing is this. Since when has the church ever been really up to it to, actually step forth and do something, dramatic and realistically true? It's only here and there. It's only small groups of people. There's a believer here. There's a believer there. They gather together. They worship the Father Almighty. They grow in faith and love. And out of this comes a plan. And small groups here and there. There's a great book, if you can find it, called The White Rose Conspiracy. I can't remember the author. But it's about Hans and Sophie Scholl, who were kind of college-age kids in the Nazi era. They were Germans, and they witnessed Hitler come to power, and they were uncomfortable with it. But when he began kind of getting real whack-ball, because see, when he came in 33 and 34 as the chancellor, he was coming in as if he was a legit candidate. It was only later when he became Das Führer, my ass. My leader, my head. This is what these people were saying. Well, anyway, Hans and Sophie had a great story, and I mean, it was kind of a show trial thing, but I mean, basically they were printing anti-Nazi, they called it propaganda, because it's propaganda because the state didn't want to hear it, and about just what they were up to, and bringing it forth into the daylight. Well, they were murdered. The Nazis took them out. I believe they were guillotined. But in other words, the thing is, this is what we're being called into. This is the witness of Christ in this world. He said, if they heard me, they'll hear you. If they won't hear me, they won't listen to a word you got to say. So in other words, the word of the Lord, the prophetic office, is still alive. It doesn't matter what the Presbyterians have to say. They can't outvote the Bible. The office of prophet is still real. Now, what exactly that means, I don't know. But at least part of what the prophet was doing in ancient days was it was one man called out of the group who he didn't fit with anyone. He didn't fit into any particular party. Nobody really wanted to associate with him. But he was calling out the king, and he was calling out the corruption, and he was calling out the sin of the land before God and the judgment which must come. In other words, he was political. The prophet was political. Now, the prophets did say things, yes, that if interpreted correctly, do point directly to Jesus Christ. They say astonishing things throughout the prophets that predict precisely this one Jesus. And I'm not going to go into there. There's a lot of good information on that if you want to find it. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of encourage you some today. It's one of those days where go listen to Russell. This guy is good. He takes the grimmest, most heinous idea in the world, and I believe the man's a Christian nowadays, thank God. He's got a mind like a whip. I love that guy. But he takes the most distressing and horrible idea, and he blends with it a humorous bend, a humorous twist, by flipping back to this drunk driver trial and how the media is like, well, that's what we're salivating over right now. We're really paying attention to that. While the world is on the edge of a nuclear holocaust for money. Think it over, friend. Go watch Russell. He's a better man than I am, but that's an awfully low threshold now, isn't it? Heck, anybody can qualify on that score. If he'll have me, he'll have anybody. Guaranteed. You guys have a good day. God bless.